All right, I've been waiting for somebody to ask this for a really long time, but nobody has, so I didn't answer it. Essentially, it goes back to Pavlov's dog experiments, where he would ring a bell, and it would be at mealtime. He would like ring the bell and then feed them, and then after he fed them, or no, he would ring the bell when they were hungry and they knew they were about to get fed, and they would salivate. And therefore, every time he rang the bell, they started salivating. So, when I was younger, first getting used to my clairsentience, I think I was around 11 when I started being able to feel the flow of energy in my own body and around me. And I was probably around 13 when I started feeling it in other objects and other people. And that was probably around 13, 14 when I learned how to direct it. I learned how to manipulate energy in my own body and somebody else's body in the ambient world around me. Like, for example, there's residual energy in the cards or in my blanket or, anything that somebody uses a lot. There's going to be residual ambient energy collected in that object. So I was really confused when I was younger why, you could feel the energy of like a dining room table, for example. And it took me years to figure out it's because we sat there every day. You know what I mean? Sat there touching it. But essentially, I applied Pavlov's theory to how I build my energy. So whenever I was doing something particularly intensive that required me to build up energy for, in my practice or, whatever I was doing when I'm getting in the zone, that's one of the ways that I build the energy up and it becomes an automated response. So because I do my little hand movements, every time I'm building energy, when I make those motions, it doesn't matter what the psychological thought process is. My body is building the energy. It becomes something that happens automatically. So when I'm doing Reiki, it's easier for me to incorporate that because it's such an ingrained natural part of whatever my process is. Because I was manipulating and directing energy for years and years and years and years and years before I knew how to do Reiki formally. So that's what that is. I'm not summoning anything. I definitely am not doing dirty things in sign language. It's just how I learned to trigger the energetic response that I'm after. It's kind of like, I do the same thing with songs. When I'm trying to get a particular energy, I will listen to a particular song. And I really won't listen to that song unless I'm looking to get that particular energy. So basically, through repetition, you create conditioned behaviors. That works with spirituality too. Anyway, that's what my little hand signs are for. And it's not just, the triangle that I use for the violet breath. It's anything. Like, for example, I can build the energy and put it in my fingers to direct it wherever I need in my body into something else. It doesn't matter what it's for. I can use it multi-purpose, in whatever way that I need. And the actual hand signs are kind of like the symbol that represents my ancestral line. It didn't come from anywhere. I didn't learn it somewhere. It just intuitively popped into my head. And I realized, I thought when I was a kid that I made it up, but I realized that it was placed there. And I just didn't know how to articulate or conceptualize that at the time. And I think it must have been spirit. Yeah. I think that was prep work. And, I've heard a lot of different theories about where information like that comes from, but I also, I'm claircognizant. So sometimes I just know things. And that's kind of like, it just happens. It's intuitive. But mostly I'm guided by my clairsentience. And feeling is what leads me the places that I need to go. It leads me to do the things that I need to do. And those hand signs felt right. They taught me how to play with my energy when I was a kid and how to do what I needed to do without any kind of formal education. And that got me here. And now I am formally educated, and I'm still incorporating what felt intuitively right to me in my day-to-day practices. I'm probably not going to stop doing that. And there's been so much variation in every single major religion and spiritual practice across the earth. And, people get there, however they get there. I don't think that there's necessarily a right or wrong way. High Priestess, there is your set of tools that leads you where you need to go. Your set of tools in combination with guidance from Spirit is all that's required. Temperance. I think I'm going to cut it off there. Thanks for watching, guys.